Hey, what's going on, y'all? Today I am going to go over how to make like a campaign or political flyer. And honestly, these are like probably some of the easiest designs to make. Not only are they the easiest to make, you can make a lot of money from these without having to really like do a lot of design work. So I guess I'll just create maybe, let's see, I'll make a door hanger, because a lot of campaign guys, when people are campaigning, politicians, they like to want a door hanger is one of the marketing tools that they like to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the door hanger we'll make this the width 5 inches and the height 8 inches. And you want to add a 1/4 inch bleed on your designs. That way because they're going to be cut down. Like the way they print them is they print them on one big sheet, probably like an 11 by 17 or a 12 by 18. So there might be like 4 different or 5 different door hangers on each sheet. So they're gonna, once they print them out, they UV coat them and then they cut them down. And if you don't have that bleed, you might get your words cut off, and that's gonna be a problem. So you don't want that to happen. Actually, I think I still made this the wrong size. Let's see. 5 by 8. I don't know why that looks weird to me, but I've made some that are like long and narrow, and I guess it just depends on what printer you're going through. So you can check that out. So, I mean, campaign flyers, like I said, they're usually simple. They have like a few different colors, like maybe red, white, and blue, or blue and black, green and white. It could be whatever the person that's campaigning, whatever colors they decide on using. So I think I would like to use maybe like a navy blue. So what I'm gonna do is just grab the paint bucket, fill this in with the foreground color. Okay, so that's more or less the color I'd like to use. Now, I don't really have, it's not campaign season right now, so I don't have any clients that are sending me photos to use. So I would like to just grab one of like maybe a guy in a suit. So I'm gonna do business man PNG. If you type in PNG when you Google searching for images, like royalty-free images and stuff like that, you'll get cutout images. Or you can type PSD instead of PNG and you'll still get cutout images. But PSDs tend to sometimes be larger files, so a PNG is just fine. So, and also, if you download a PSD, a lot of times, sometimes the background's still on there. The case can be that for PNGs as well, so you just gotta kind of look around and see which one you want to use. So, all right, I'm gonna use some like happy white guy or something like that. Or actually, this guy looks pretty happy. So maybe I'll use him. And it's as simple as copying and pasting it on here if you have a PNG of the client. But if you don't, you're gonna have to go through and crop them out with the pen tool or the lasso tool. And honestly, I'll show you guys how that's done right now, just for the sake of everyone being on the same page. So I'm gonna actually put a background on this guy and then just cut them back out. Now I could take the easy way out and just, because this is a white background, I could just use the magic line tool and then click and delete. Or if it's difficult enough, I'd have to go in with the pen tool and crop them out like this. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know what I mean? Like it just has to, well, I definitely would want to eliminate as much white as possible, but you don't have to cut exactly on the line. It just has to make sense. Like once this is cut out, this little outside part here, it's not gonna, the client or the viewer isn't gonna look at the picture and be like, hey, you cut my shoulder off. So some things you can get away with, but still try to be as close to the line as you can get. Try to be most careful around the face, because if they're gonna notice anything strange, it's gonna be imperfections around the face. Zoom back out. Now I'm gonna right click on here and go to make selection. 0 on the feather radius, because that's gonna make your cut blurry around the edges. So now I have this selection here. Now I can do two things. I can just hit the delete key and get rid of that background, or you can hit the mask key and it's gonna mask it. The mask is inverted, so all you have to do is click on the mask and hit Control I or Command I if you're on a Mac. Oh, can't forget about this spot right here. I'll just go ahead and quickly get that out of there with the lasso. So if you want to, you can mask it if you'd like to, and the reason why you might want to mask it is maybe because you don't want to, for some reason you don't know if you want to cut it out permanently on this project, so maybe you'll just keep a mask on there. But I usually just commit to it and delete it, and I got an even better cut now than I had when I previously pasted the picture. But there's little white areas like this around, which what you can do to get rid of that is go to layer and then go to matting and then go to defringe, maybe about 2 or 3 pixels, and then just get rid of it. So now we got this guy here whose name is John Robinson, I guess, I don't know. And let's say that he's from Chicago and he's running for senator. I don't know. As far as a door hanger goes, we have to make sure that, like, this is a no-no. We cannot have him up here because there's going to be a hole cut into the door hanger, which will probably be maybe like around here or something. I don't know exactly where it would be. I'd have to get a template from my printer, the guy I'm gonna go to the printer and print this from, which, you know, I'm not really printing this out, so that would be whoever I would contact in that case. But you gotta leave room for that circle up there, because if you don't, once they get cut, his head's gonna get cut off, and it's gonna be like basically basically like just that, and that's not what you want at all. So let's say, for the sake of the hole probably being right there, I don't even know if it will be that big. This hole's about 2 inches, maybe, I don't know. But definitely keep your subject and anything important out of the top area. So I'm actually gonna move him a little bit further down, maybe even make him, let's move him, make him a little bit bigger. And let's say, like I said, let's say he's a senator from Chicago. Who cares what I watch? Let's say he's a senator from Chicago. So maybe we'd like to have Chicago skyline in the background or something like that. It could be a skyline, it could be a blank background. I personally, my style, I like to have the skyline of their hometown in the background if I can. Or I had a client that had me, she was real big on like policies regarding the environment, so she had me put trees in her background. So it just really depends on what the person who's campaigning, what type of values and stuff they stand for and want to represent. Whoops. So I'm putting a mask on here so I can do a gradient fade over the top. And I want it to be black to transparent, because if you do anything else, it's gonna end up looking kind of strange. What we're doing is just fading this away. I like that fade away, but I don't really like how the building is like, oh, I guess it's cut off like that in the picture, so it's fine. But that's kind of bothering me. So maybe I'll just set it to overlay. Kind of push it into the background a little more so that it's not the focus of this image. And I'm just scraping along the bottom, trying to fade away the harsh edges of this photo so that it blends in better with the subject. And you can try different looks. Overlay is a little bit of a stronger type of thing. Lighter color does that. Like all of the blend modes do different things. Depending on what look you want to go for, Multiply is a pretty nice looking one too. But as far as for like something that campaigns, you want to keep it looking nice and clean and professional. You don't really want to go for nothing like that. Like that's too artsy and too artistic. I would, in my personal opinion, I would say, and in my personal experience, I've noticed that when people are campaigning, they're looking for something that's fairly clean. So now we're gonna go and maybe let's make a red rectangle. You could use black, you could use blue, whatever colors you'd like to use. I personally want to go for like the good old American colors that people love to use during this time of the year, during the campaign season. And possibly you might want to put red over the top, but I didn't like how that looked just now. So let's put vote or let's put elect. John. And then just like how we're sticking with clean, nice geometric shapes and nice solid colors and not really going too wild with the design creatively and artistically and when I say artsy type of way, I mean like a lot of different colors going on and stuff like that. You want to kind of stick to a nice strong color scheme and make sure the guy's name or the lady's name is very, very prominent. So let's say his name is, I don't remember what I said I'd make his name before, but we'll do John Robinson. I think that's what I said before. Oops. So maybe I want Robinson to take up the bottom half. But remember, you want to keep a 1/4 inch bleed on your design. And this is actually a little more than a 1/4 inch. But it's going to keep me safe and stop me from putting text in the edge. Because if you have text like too far over to the edge like this, bam, it's going to get cut off. And then the guy's going to be very, very, very mad with you because it's going to be thousands of dollars down the drain just because of a simple error like that. So, and it happens. Like I've been in situations where, you know, I wasn't as precise as I needed to be, and an error happened, and we had to reprint all of the flyers, and it's just a big ordeal. So try to be very, very, very meticulous and pay attention to the smallest of details if you can. So Electron, maybe I want this over here. Electron Robinson. Okay, so that's looking pretty cool. His name is prominent. It's a nice photo of him in the front. Let's pull it up a little bit because I would like to write at the bottom now. Let's say elect him for senator, or the person that you're doing this for might be running for mayor. That might be running for presidency. You know, there's different types of offices or positions that people run for, so that could relatively say anything. So let's try to like maybe spice it up a little bit, but not too much as to where, like I said, it's just too much going on. Maybe an inner shadow might look cool on here. Maybe not. We'll try it like from there. And what the inner shadow effect does is kind of like, lower that past it a little bit. It gives you the impression that it's kind of like punched into the design, which could be a cool effect to use. I think I like that. And then I really don't like how there's like a lot of space down there. So, I'm gonna put, what I'm doing is going through, I'm gonna go through the custom shape tool, and under the custom shape tool, there's a lot of different types of shapes you could use. I was actually looking for a star, but not quite this one. Sort of like the ones you see on American flag. Okay, let's see. Star. Thank God for Google. Whenever you need resources and things like that, you can always check Google. There's plenty of free resources you can use. There's plenty of paid resources you can use that are even better. So don't be afraid to search up Google and type in exactly what you're looking for. So we're gonna make the star a little smaller. A lot smaller than that, actually. And the star is red, so what I'm just gonna do is open up the hues and saturations. Just pull it up so we can see it. I'd like it to be white. It's still a little bit too big for me, so we're gonna transform that. And I realize I'm using like shortcuts and stuff, so if you guys don't know how to do the transform, it's edit and then free transform, or just Control T or Apple T, Command T. So maybe there's like 4 stars on each side or something, I don't know. I'm doing is duplicating the stars. The shortcut Command J, Control J, or you can just alternatively take your layer that you want to duplicate, pull it into the new layer section, and now you have a copy of it. Alright, so I mean, it's already looking pretty nice. I'd like to add a little bit of depth to it. So maybe this red is a little bit darker. And then let's add a gradient overlay to the layer style. And let's make it linear at 0 degrees. Or let's do 90 degrees. And instead of multiply, let's put it on overlay. So now we got that cool type of, let's reverse it actually. that cool blend of like dark red to a lighter red. It gives it another element of depth without doing too much to the design. And actually, now that I look at it, I'm not liking this inner shadow, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. I want to put just a tiny bit more contrast on Mr. Robinson here. Just so that his skin looks nice and brown. I think that difference is pretty nice. All right, now I would like to put a little bit of glare and gloss on here is what I would like to call it. So I made my new layer, and now I'm gonna set this to screen, and I'd like to use like a blue color, but like a brighter blue. And now I'm gonna take the soft brush, so let's maybe do like I just like for my, ooh, that's kind of dope. And just that little thing just brought it to another level, in my opinion. Like it highlighted his name a little bit more. It brought a little more color to the design, and now we're looking good. One more thing I want to do is we're gonna double click on the background to unlock it. I want to add the gradient to the background as well. Maybe not as strong, or maybe not as. There we go. I'm liking that. So this is like, let me take this off, because again, who knows what size that would be. But this is pretty much how you make a campaign door hanger. Obviously, there may be more or less information that you'd have to add to the front or the back, depending on who you're dealing with. A lot of times when people are running for office, they have a double-sided design. So on the back side, what you could do here, I'll say this as elect John Robinson side 1. This top. PSD. Now I know a lot of people or some people might be thinking like, shouldn't you be working in CMYK? Which is true that a lot of printers, commercial printers, print in CMYK format, and our computers run off an RGB format. So the reason I don't work in CMYK is because I'll show you right now actually. Let's see. Convert to CMYK. First off, that's what it does to your designs. It throws your colors off to a point where it's hard to figure out how to design properly. It doesn't allow you to adjust certain features under CMYK as far as filters go and image adjustments. So, I mean, those are the simple reasons why I don't work in CMYK. I'd rather work in RGB, and then when I get done, I flatten it, and then I convert it into CMYK, which the colors still fade a tad bit, but the effect isn't as dramatic. And I've never gotten a design sent back to me because it wasn't made in CMYK. Like the printers, they receive all types of RGB files all the time, and they just convert it to CMYK if they need to. I don't really have to take that step, but I just wanted to show you guys what it would look like if I was to design in CMYK and what my limitations would be, and the reasons why I'm against designing in such a way. So for the second side, now the second side could be pretty much the same thing. It'd probably be his photo again, much smaller, or a different photo of him. And the information would be maybe, I don't know exactly what to write here because it's often like a detailed platform, like, you know, what they believe should be the case for criminal reform, or for what they think the community should, what type of guidelines the community should follow, or whatever the case may be, whatever thing they might be running for, and what they might want to push to further persuade people to vote for them. So that's what will go in this area. So I'm just gonna just put place text here regarding political platform. And what I mean by that is like anything that, like I said, they might be listing for you to, it's their things that they believe in and what they stand by and their values. So you're gonna place text here regarding political platform and values. And I wouldn't put it in a font like this personally. I would only use this type of font for like titles. I would rather use something like a sans serif, and then I wouldn't italicize it. It'd be about, maybe, I wouldn't go any smaller than 12, or definitely wouldn't go smaller than 10 for most fonts, but 12 is okay. And it could be a simple font like Arial, Narrow, Times New Roman. You don't have to download a fancy font for this particular portion or this type of flyer in general, because people want a very, very, very clean look based off of using serif text or traditional sans serifs or whatever the case may be. So his political platform could go there to the right side, and he could stay on the left. Now this right here might say, on the back it might say vote November 7th, or whichever day election day is. I think it's the 7th. Now, a cool thing you can do with numbers, if you have like this thing on the end, you can just superscript it and then it'll put it up top for you. But oftentimes I like to align it directly with the height of the number. So, and give it a little space to breathe. So, vote November 7th. What else might possibly go on to a, he probably have on the back side something about like a website probably. So let's say the website is www.johnrobinson.com or elect John Robinson. So that could go here. Maybe he'd have some other photos that he might want to include, like, I don't know, him shaking hands with the mayor, or him at the president's, like anything that might make him look good. He might want you to add that to the back, or she, depending on if you're dealing with a lady client or a male client. And it's going to be your responsibility to know how to place those and where to place them to where they look tasteful. But I'm gonna go ahead and save these PSDs, and I will include links on where to get the fonts so that you guys can use these, and maybe you can make some money with them using them. I don't know, or maybe you can at least get some practice and figure out how to lay different types of door hangers out with just using this template right here. So that's pretty much it. First side, name prominent, a couple strong colors to roll with for a color scheme. Backside, telling you exactly what they stand for and what they believe in, when to vote, the website or contact information, and any other type of important information that they might want to add. And then bam, that's it. You send it to the client, they love it, and you get the rest of your money and everybody's happy. So thanks for sitting here and watching this video and sitting through this design with me. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, you can leave them in the comments box below and I will answer them as soon as I get a chance to answer them. And I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe, please, for more videos. Leave suggestions on tutorials in the comments, and if I'm able to pull those things off for you, I will make those things. And yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all next time, or rather, y'all see me. Peace out.